secret of the Cold War was unearthed to a group of a few dozen this afternoon in Anchorage. Joe Allgood was on that expedition and takes us back in time.
The Cold War of the 20th century might seem like a bygone era nowadays, but that's not necessarily the case. Its history and the traces it left behind are still very near, especially here in Kincaid Park. Amidst the rolling hills and winding trails of Kincaid Park lies a secret past.
Walk around to the back, and we'll show you where the rails are, where the missiles came out.
Well, not so secret anymore.
Kincaid Park is a great example of swords into plowshares.
The bunkers of Kincaid have stood for nearly 70 years, but for some, like veteran Lance Morgan, the area is better known as Sight Point.
16 Bravos, we were pit rats. We got the name pit rats because in the lower 48, everything was underground.
The Nike missiles Morgan worked with were a nuclear deterrent designed to intercept Soviet bombers. Thankfully, it never came to that.
Basically, that's why Nike represents victory. So it was victory for us, victory for Russia. Nobody was, it was never fired.
Though there was a close call during the earthquake of 1964.
The fuel cracked open, and these brave servicemen that were there worked for 72 hours to carefully take apart the missiles so that they did not explode.
After receiving medals for their actions, they were unable to publicly discuss what they were for until 2014.
Donald Dukes, who was the commander here of the site then, said that he went on to Vietnam after here, and he was with the Rangers. I think he was in military intelligence with the Rangers in Vietnam. He said nothing came close in Vietnam to the terror he experienced here during the earthquake. So that says something.
And Donahue grew up near the missile site and recalls seeing armed patrols with dogs along the fence line.
People in my generation grew up with that fear. We had air raid sirens, we had drills. We thought that we would get bombed by the Russians. And I think we need to remember how close we came in the 60s.
Thursday's tour, offered by the Anchorage Museum, garnered the interest of over 3,200 people, and only a dozen got to actually do it. So if you missed it, don't worry. They're hoping to offer the same tour at some point again in the future. Joe Allgood, Alaska's news source.
Now, if you'd like